New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
I'm Esther Golias, the Tax Lady. Thank you for watching Ask the Tax Lady. I'm from EG Tax, and of course, we have 33 area offices to help you with your taxes. And whatever anybody else says on the TV as far as advertising, hey, who does it better? Us.
Nobody.
I'm telling you, we do it better for less money. And I know they say you get what you pay for, but I would beg to differ with people, especially with what we do for people. I mean, what might cost $500 at someplace else might be $125. I'll tell you, people will come on all the time and they'll say, and what if you do my return? How much will it be? About $130.
Or people will come
no,
in.
I mean, if I want you to do it, it's about $130.
I had somebody text me the other day, last night, as a matter of fact, and he's like, I got 4 job offers. I'm thinking, what does he do? And you do my return. He said, will you sit down with me and look at the package and tell me which package is better and what I should withhold? And I said, sure. And he goes, how much will it cost? And I said, nothing. He goes, nothing? So
That's true, because we do really, our meat and potatoes is to prepare the tax return. And because we do so many tax returns, we're kind of sitting around there all day, just helping people that we've already serviced. But that gives us the opportunity to talk to people that want to come in for budgeting, that want to do tax planning, that might get some letters from the IRS that are late filing the returns. And so we're there anyway. And so we don't charge for a lot of things because we believe in casting our bread upon the water so that you get a lot of value. We want you to walk out of the office and say, that was a good price. That was a good fee.
And tell
We got
others.
a lot for our money.
We did. I like when people go, how much is it? I paid my accountant last year $600. I know, but it's just $100. You sure? Because last year I think, no,
If you
shall
wanna
I
pay us
charge
more.
Right, shall I charge you more? I'm telling you, you will be happy when you come to EG Tax, and we guarantee our work. And we have CPAs, we have attorneys, we have enrolled agents, we have all licensed tax preparers. So we do a great job.
We do an extraordinary job.
Okay, and now this show, yes, sir.
And we're there all year.
Yes.
I mean, that I think sets us apart more than anything else. We're there 365 days a year.
Yeah.
There's other places out there that are open maybe one Monday a month or every other Tuesday. We see clients almost every day of the year.
Yeah, we don't see them on Saturdays so
and
much.
Sundays
Yeah.
during the summer.
And some
but Monday
holidays.
through Friday, we're there.
Although we do have them up for the 4th of July. All right, on this show, though, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about your emails, your emailed questions. If you want to join us live, of course, our live Saturday shows on WBEN, and you can call and become famous in Western New York. But in the meantime, we have our question reader, Mr. Bill. And what's our first question here from emails?
Murphy from Amherst writes, I volunteer each week at the food pantry, and I've estimated that the fair value, market value of my time is $50 an hour, and last year I put in 50 hours. How do I get this contribution deduction on my return?
Well, Murphy, you don't get it. It's not deductible. So,
And so the nice thing is he could do the mileage, which is what we got, 14 cents
a mile.
14
right.
cents a
14
mile.
cents a mile.
And so you can't give anything for your hourly rate. It just doesn't work like that for
right.
volunteering.
And it's because you didn't claim the income.
Right.
So if you say that my time is worth $700. If you claim the $700 as miscellaneous income, then you could take the expense. But you can't take an expense on money you haven't paid taxes on.
That's right.
That would be deductible.
Yep.
right.
If he bought the food, if he
That would be
if he
deductible.
was a cook and he brought his own utilities there, that he had special knives and stuff that
Right.
he left there, that could be a volunteer.
A soccer coach
Right.
who brings soccer balls and equipment, things like that. You could
and
take
all of his travel, and if
Right.
he had to pay for parking, and if he had to pay for tolls, if he had to wear a uniform, that's all deductible.
That's
but
right.
your time is not deductible, and that's why, because your time has not been taxed.
That's right.
That's
Okay,
right.
all right, Mr. Bill, that was a fast one.
Yes, Melissa from Wheatfield writes this. I'm a 50-year-old person looking forward to retirement, and I'm already beginning to pay off my debt. And so I've taken $100,000 out of my Roth IRA, which I opened in 2010, and $80,000 with an $80,000 of it being contribution. How do I show this exclusion on my return?
Okay, well, we're going to take...
I think she has to look forward just a little bit longer.
That's true. But anyway, we're going to take a short break right now. We're going to answer that question on the other side. We got a break right now for our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Come spend the day and shop your favorite stores at the McKinley Mall. We have fashion fun for all ages at Old Navy. Best Buy has electronics, computers, appliances, movies, and more. Find great deals shopping for that perfect outfit at American Eagle, Hollister, JCPenney, Express, and The Gap. At Ulta Beauty, you'll find a great selection of cosmetics and fragrances to choose from. Stop into Barnes & Noble for the best selection books.
Attention real estate investors thinking of selling investment property? Pay no tax. Call RJ Gullo Companies, qualified intermediaries for 1031 exchanges and real estate investment specialists. For a free consultation on how to pay no tax when selling investment properties, call 675-1500 or visit us online at rjgullo.com. Call 675-1500 or online at rjgullo.com.
Hey, this is Esther, and let me tell you how great it is to have an insurance agent like Nationwide's Bill Barber. Bill's 40-plus years experience has saved me money on my premiums and potential claims. Have an insurance question, problem, or crisis? Bill will work with you personally without calling an overseas customer service number. All I can say is whenever I need someone on my side, I'm glad to have Nationwide's Bill Barber.
For all your insurance needs, call the Bill Barber Agency at 688-2199. Call 688-2199 today.
Nationwide is on your side.
JD Sound is Buffalo's most professional and unique entertainment source for bar mitzvahs, weddings, private parties, and much more. At JD Sound Buffalo, every event is personally customized with the best lighting and sound to make it unforgettable. To contact JD Sound Buffalo, call 716-908-2633 or email jdsoundbuffalo@gmail.com and visit our website, jdsoundbuffalo.com. Check out our social media, pictures, information, and much more.
I'm Esther Galias, the tax lady from EG Tax, and we're here to help you with your taxes. And we were just, before the break, talking about Melissa, who is age 50, put in $100,000, looking forward to retire and paying off her debt. So she took $100,000 out of her Roth. And of course, everybody knows that Roths are not taxed.
Right, they're tax-free.
They're tax-free. Except unless you're 59 and a half, and unless you didn't keep it in for 5 years. Is she 59 and a half?
No, she's 50.
No.
That's the first hurdle you have to get through is you have to be
59 and a half. So she's 50. So is it going to be taxed? Yes, on the growth. She's already paid taxes on the 80, right?
Yep.
And her 20,000, the growth is going to be taxed because she wasn't 59 and a half.
Right.
Is she going to be penalized?
Yes.
Yes.
That's so sad.
But
it is what it is.
But it is what it is, and that's the thing. You know, when you're listening over the fence to your friends who say if you put it in a Roth, it's never taxed, you should know that they would never just do a straight tax rule. It's never taxed.
Right.
It's never taxed if you're 59 and a half and you've kept it in for 5 years or more after reaching age 59 and a half. So that's the problem, and so... Now, the only good thing is, if it's been within the last 60 days,
Right.
she could still roll it back.
Yep,
Right?
yep, absolutely.
So
Do an
that's
indirect
what I would
rollover.
suggest she do
well,
because
if she already paid off her debt, kind of hard to get that
that's
kind
what
of-
she
But
could borrow
maybe
the money and
she's
put it back
planning.
in. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd have 60 days to put it back
It's
in.
called
but,
an indirect
but
rollover.
it's kind of sad.
And
I
an
feel-
indirect
feel
rollover.
bad for Melissa.
Indirect rollover, you can only do 2 a year. One a year. You can only make one indirect
right,
rollover a year.
right.
That's where you take money from your IRA and you put it in your bank account, and then within 60 days you roll it over
Into another IRA.
A direct is right from one IRA holder to another
Right.
without you touching the
Right.
money.
So poor Melissa is going to end up paying at least a $2,000 penalty, and if she's in the 25% bracket, which it looks like, she'll pay $5,000 in income taxes, $2,000 in penalty, and probably $1,000 in New York State. So $8,000 on her
20.
on her.
Her gain.
I don't know. You got to see if anybody gave you that information that was good, because you might be able to hold them accountable too. So something to think about. Okay, Mr. Bill, are we ready for another one, sir?
We are. Conrad from Buffalo writes, I'm a retired Buffalo fireman and receive $45,000 a year on my pension, and my wife is on Social Security. And what I want to know is any of the Social Security taxable to the federal and or to the state?
None to the state. None of the Social Security is taxable. The state, New York State, is kind to retirees, and the nice thing is his is a New York State pension, and
So it's
that's all
completely tax-free on
completely
New York State
tax-free
as
on
well.
New York State. Now, the taxability of his Social Security on the federal, when they are $45,000 joint couple.
How much did they get in Social Security?
It doesn't say Social
Doesn't say.
Security.
Oh, it doesn't say. Okay.
just
So
contact.
for sure, you're over the $32,000.
Right.
So half up to 85% of the
I'm
Social
thinking
Security is
they're
going to
gonna
be.
right almost
right.
right at 85%.
So yes, part of the Social Security
But-
is be taxable on the federal. The $45,000 pension is also taxable on the federal, and you can't avail yourself of a pension.
One thing he
About-
can do,
yeah.
if he's a retired firefighter, so he's a public safety official.
Right.
If he
Health
has
insurance.
taxable health insurance
insurance.
coming out
That's
of his
true.
pension,
That's true.
first 3,000 of that's tax free from the federal.
Right.
So really, the federal may only look at
42,
42,000,
right.
which could help some of the Social
Social
Security.
Correct.
Taxes are so easy, aren't they?
I know someone used to come up to Esther and I and used to say, I wish I could cut open your head so
I
I
know.
could see how your brain works, because there's no way I could do this.
Yeah, well,
Well,
when I was
because
sitting
it's
there, I was like,
this and
that's
this and
right,
that.
that's right, that's right.
Yep,
Oh, yeah,
that's true.
That's, yeah.
Now, had she had any wages, then she could put some money into an IRA, but that's not really going to help eliminate any of the liability at all. So that's it.
That's it.
All right.
Unfortunately.
All right, Mr. Bill, we got another one, sir.
We do. I shall find out who wrote this. Tina from Niagara Falls writes, I just received my 1099 statement from my financial broker, and I want to know why are the three capital gains shown in this form taxable, and when I lost money on that fund.
Okay, she wants to know why the capital gains are showing when she lost money on the fund.
He also charged me $6,000 in management fees. Can any of this expense be deducted?
Okay.
Well, before you chime in, can I say that you taught me one time when on your investments, you have two pots. One is your capital gain pot, and one is how those investments are doing. So she's got like one entity, but different sections of that entity.
Well, that's because she's in a mutual fund.
Right.
So in a mutual fund, all year long, they're buying and selling stocks. And it's growing. It has capital gains within that family of funds.
They're buying and selling without you telling them to buy
Right.
and
So
sell.
it could be ABC Mutual Fund that she paid $20 a share for, all right? But inside ABC, it's buying and selling stuff all year long. And there's capital gains being racked up while they're doing all those trades. So you have on your 1099 DIV, you have capital gains, you have ordinary dividends, you might have on the mutual funds, what you might have some other gains or losses depending upon whether they were doing exchanges of collectible items. So you have inside that mutual fund, you have gains and losses. Then if in addition you sold the stock, ABC Mutual Fund, yourself, then there would be a big capital gain or loss on the adjusted basis to sale price when you sold that. So that would be why.
And then the $6,000 brokerage fee is a write-off potentially if you itemize on the Schedule A down at the bottom at your miscellaneous deductions or your, so that would be
Exactly right.
Subject to 2%.
That's exactly right. But of course, capital gains, if you're in the 15% bracket or less presently, you're not going to pay any, you pay at 0%.
Right.
And
Now, it could adjust your other income, but you pay at 0%.
And the only way you can claim the losses, like you said, it's lost money for you, is if you were to sell the stock. So right now it's an unrealized loss. You have to sell it to
In order to-
recognize it, to make it realized.
Exactly
To
right.
make it even more confusing.
Right. I don't even know why they call it realized and unrealized, but okay.
To make it more confusing.
But it does make it more confusing. But that's the situation. So capital gains are taxed differently than other forms of income. They're taxed at a much lower rate. But inside of a mutual fund, if you have a mutual fund where they're buying and selling stocks, there's capital gains, even though the mutual fund might be worth less money than you paid for it originally.
That's right.
JD Sound is Buffalo's most professional and unique entertainment source for bar mitzvahs, weddings, private parties, and much more. At JD Sound Buffalo, every event is personally customized with the best lighting and sound to make make it unforgettable. To contact JD Sound Buffalo, call 716-908-2633 or email jdsoundbuffalo@gmail.com and visit our website, jdsoundbuffalo.com. Check out our social media, pictures, information, and much more.
Attention real estate investors. Interested in buying or selling multifamily investment property? Call RJ Gullo Companies, qualified intermediaries for 1031 exchanges and real estate investment specialists. For a free opinion of value on your multifamily investment property, call New York State's premier multifamily realty company at 675-1500 or visit us online at rjgullo.com. Call 675-1500 or online at rjgullo.com.
Hey, this is Esther, and let me tell you how great it is to have an insurance agent like Nationwide's Bill Barber. Bill's 40-plus years experience has saved me money on my premiums and potential claims. Have an insurance question, problem, or crisis? Bill will work with you personally without calling an overseas customer service number. All I can say is whenever I need someone on my side, I'm glad to have Nationwide's Bill Barber.
For all your insurance needs, call the Bill Barber Agency at 688-2199. Call 688-2199 today.
Nationwide is on your side.
People often ask me, why should I use EG Tax? Why shouldn't I do it myself? First of all, our prices are 50% lower than our national competitors, and we're staffed with qualified licensed tax professionals. We know how the tax laws work for you. Secondly, when you hit submit, unless you're a trained tax person, you never know what you put on your tax return. Taxes are extremely complicated, but when you partner with EG Tax, you have someone in your corner. This year, come join our family.
I'm Esther Galise, the tax lady from EG Tax. Thank you for joining us on Ask the Tax Lady, where we answer your email questions that you've sent us through our website at egtax.com. Remember, anytime you have a tax question, you can either join us on Saturdays, our live phone-in radio show on WBEN from 3 to 4, or you can just go to our website at egtax.com and click on Ask the Tax Lady and type it in, and we may select your email to be on our show. But we really appreciate you joining us. Okay, Mr. Bill, what's our next victim here?
Writes the following. I'm a non-working divorced mom of 3 who receives maintenance in the amount of $40,000 a year plus an extra $30,000 for child support. You must understand, and I know you do, that this time of the year, every year, I get pounded. And the next year next year my maintenance stops. Is there anything for me to watch out for?
Okay, so maintenance is another word for alimony, and alimony is taxable. The good news for her is the child support is not.
Correct.
Right.
That $30,000 is tax-free.
So here's the thing. I mean, like I tell people all the time, I can tell you all kinds of things to do, but you need the money to do it. So what can she do? She can put money into an IRA.
Yep,
right?
Yep, that's
so
right.
Depending upon her age, she could put $5,500 or $6,500 away.
And if I were her, I'd start brushing up on her resume and getting her resume ready, because next year that alimony stops, and probably the kids are getting older, and
That's
so
true.
you might want to go back into the
Probably
workforce.
Her separate maintenance next year is probably going to phase out in the middle of the year. So if she got a job, she might be able to get an earned income credit,
Yes,
right?
which would be so
for next
wonderful.
year, and that would be a good thing. So she's got a light at the end of the tunnel,
That's
but
right.
unfortunately, this year she's still in the cave.
Yes.
And so the only thing that she can do is the IRA, maybe some itemized deductions if she owns a home and she's making house payments on it, because unfortunately,
Hopefully
She
she's
gets to
claiming-
claim the kids.
she gets to, hopefully
She's claiming head
it.
of household,
Right.
and she's not just doing single.
Right.
And then it depends on the divorce decree if she can claim her children or
Right.
not, which could
Right.
help also.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. But Tiffany brings up a really good point. Something she could do this year, because now it's the beginning of the year, and she's got the possibility of going to college.
Right.
If she doesn't have a 4-year degree, she could do the AOTC,
Yeah.
and that would save her $2,500 in taxes
Absolutely.
too. So plus $400 to the state of New York. So that might be something that she could do, and maybe she'd get some financial aid because she won't have the income next
Right,
year.
because she's
either.
got a big household. She's got 4.
And her job hunting is going to be deductible, you know, if it's in her line of work. So those are all kinds of things that she can do. But pretty much this year, not so good. Whack, whack, whack.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Bill, what else we got?
Okay, Thomas from West Valley writes, I'm horribly embarrassed, and I owe the IRS over $100,000 in back taxes. And I haven't filed my taxes in 10 years besides all that. I really don't make much money. I make about $50,000 a year, and I am unable to pay this liability. Help me, Esther.
Sounds like an offer
Okay.
in compromise.
Well,
Yes, sir.
help me, Ron.
It
No,
sounds
so here's the thing. It sounds like if he hasn't filed his taxes in 10 years, it sounds like they did them for him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So here, they are so accommodating at the IRS. If you don't timely file your return and they think you owe money, then they're going to do a tax return for you with maybe an
Worst.
improper filing status, won't let you claim children. If you can itemize, they're not going to itemize for you. They're not going to give you any credits. They're going to come up with this big liability to kind of force you to give them a call. Because when you get this bill, they think you're going to call and say, wait, how can I owe
there
this?
you go.
Then they're going to say, do a tax return and you won't own it. So here's the good thing. The first thing, if we take a look at this, the liability letter that you're getting that says you owe $100,000, we may find out that, in fact, you don't owe anything. Because if you had done your return and you took all your deductions and all your credits and everything that you're entitled to, you may end up with refunds. Now, if it's more than 3 years from the time that the tax return was done, you're not going to get those refunds, but at least we can get rid of the liability. That's at least in the offing. We don't
right.
know till we look at it. But I will tell you, if they've done your return, they didn't do you any favors.
Right.
That's right. That's why you just have to make the phone call. You can't bury your head in the sand.
Right.
Just
And so-
make the phone
and
call
we
to
are,
us.
I'm going to tell you, this is something we do. I just had a client of ours in Florida, same situation. He hadn't filed his return. He was self-employed. So naturally, they did the 15.3% on the most. And he said, but I traveled. I was a mechanic. I did this. So we came up with his mileage, his tools, and all, did all the tax returns for the 4 years that he hadn't filed because they had him owing tens of thousands of dollars. He ended up getting refunds. And he was flabbergasted because he had no idea. But that's what the IRS does to kind of get you to be pushed into doing the return. They do this very unfavorable tax return, and if you just do the return, you may be a very happy person.
I had a client too recently, not so long ago. They did the tax return for him too, and as a matter of fact, he had foster children. And he didn't claim that when they did the return, they didn't claim the foster children. So when I did the right returns, he was singing Dixie. He was so much happier.
Right.
And so you just got to do those
so
returns.
you got to do the returns, right? And so it's like going to the dentist. It's just one of those things. If you do it, you'll be happy that you
Right,
did.
right,
Okay,
right.
Mr. Bill, what do we got?
Rita from Kenmore writes, I'm looking into self-directed IRAs and considering seriously looking at rental properties to accomplish this. What should I look out for?
A lot. Not to do it. I mean, that's probably one of the most mismanaged things is the self-directed IRAs with rental properties because people think it's their money.
That's right.
And it's not.
I know. I'm deferring to you. Russ helps do these, doesn't he? Doesn't Russ because
He does exchanges.
But he thought he talked about that on the
He
radio
helps
show.
people put houses in them.
Yes.
But it's not the taxpayers' money. It's a separate identity. It's the IRA's money. So the rent that comes in has to go into the IRA. And the expenses get put through the IRA. You cannot write a check anymore for the expenses. You cannot. It's the IRA's asset. It's not
it's
your
almost
asset.
like, even though it's your money, you cannot touch anything. If you do touch the money, it's a taxable event,
Yep.
and so you'd have to it would be a taxable event.
Distribution.
And really, it's supposed to be an arm's length relationship between like an administrator that's administrating the IRA and you. So you have to be very careful. I will tell you, I've read a lot of articles that many of these self-directed IRAs have been thrown out. And then all the tax benefits they thought they had, they don't have.
And
so you have to be very careful to make sure that you're dealing with a reputable firm, not just, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. You want to make sure that you're dealing with a reputable firm so this is done correctly. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're going to take a short break. We'll be with you on the other side.
Attention! Are you interested in using your existing retirement account to buy and sell real estate tax-free? Call R.J. Gullo Companies, qualified intermediaries for 1031 exchanges and real estate investment specialists. For a free consultation to buy and sell real estate tax-free through the use of a self-directed IRA or a solo 401k, call 675-1500 or visit us online at rjgullo.com. That's 675-1500 or online at rjgullo.com.
Hi, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're here to help you to make sure that you do the best tax return possible. We're going to help you tax plan. We're going to help you with any outstanding liabilities, any letters you've gotten. EG Tax is here to partner with you. We're your hometown tax team, and we have 33 offices locally to serve you. They're 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 9 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday and Sundays at 2 locations, the McKinley Mall and the Niagara Factory Outlet. And we have three other branch offices at
Ransomville
with
Keepo.
Keepo and
Jamestown
and
Olean with
right,
Schultz.
with Schultz Auto.
Right in
They're
the
wonderful.
dealerships.
They're
And then
wonderful.
I wanted to say, we were talking to Rita about self-directed IRAs, and we were talking about rental properties. Before we forget, another tax change for 2016, we all know about Section 179 depreciation. If you have
I don't think we all know. I think we know.
Right. If you have
They know.
rental properties, there's a new caveat in the law. You can depreciate up to $2,500 of a rental item if it's the first year placed in service, up to $2,500
You can expense it.
You can expense it, which
Right,
is
but
really exciting.
it wouldn't have anything to do with Rita because
No,
Rita is
right.
going to put it in an IRA.
Right. But new
Yeah.
law.
New law. True. Okay, let's see. What else we got going on at the office? Of
Like
course,
us on Facebook.
Remember your refunds, if they're held up, don't panic. The only time you should panic is if you send in your own return electronically and it rejects. If it rejects, you want to make sure
Identity.
that the social security numbers are done correctly, the spelling is done correctly. If it still rejects, you would want to find out if there wasn't identity theft, because it could be that somebody stole your ID, did a fake tax return, and so the fun begins because they won't issue the refund until they're sure that you are actually due the refund, that the first return that they got wasn't
Right.
a fraudulent return. So, and they have to send, what kind of paperwork do they have to do?
Affidavit. You can go to the IRS.gov.
Proof of ID, proof, your social security
Sometimes-
card, driver's license.
They actually
To
like
show
you to do-
that you're really
Yep.
the taxpayer. And it can take, 6 months, 9 months,
Oh,
a
yeah.
year
Oh
to
my
get
God.
your money back.
It's
And like
torturous.
we say, if somebody's got a refund, big refund, counting on it every year, with identity theft being such a problem, think about changing your W-4 at work so that you get the money as you earn it. You're going to get your own refund all year rather than sending your money off to the IRS and praying that they give it back to you, the state of New York. When you change your W-4, what you're going to do is you're going to get your own refund up front as you earn it. It makes your budgeting a lot better. And then instead of waiting for a $5,000 refund next year, you might wait for a $1,000 refund, which really takes the pressure off, right?
It does.
Well, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady. If you need help during the week, you know we're there to help you. Think of us as a resource. Go to our website and email us through our website at egtax.com. We'll be very happy to help you. We thank you for watching. And until next week, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady, with Christopher Fabian, Tiffany Fabian. Have a great week.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.